Hello everyone, welcome to Zandvoort, round 11 of the World Championship, and we are here on the June sand. Oh no, June seas? No. Basically, we're on the sand dunes of Zandvoort and the scene of the Dutch Grand Prix, which is fantastic indeed. And I think that this has got the most number of laps on the calendar, bar Austria potentially, with 36 laps here tonight. Fact check that for me because that might be completely wrong. Whilst we're in the lobby still, as you can see that only 14 turns are on this course, and of course this is about a 70-second odd lap then. It is a fast blast then around Zandvoort, and as we're going to quickly go for the drivers and the constructors before we get into the session itself. And there they are then. Sam Swift Ninja is on course to become world champion for the third time. Now, I don't want to put the commentator's curse on him. However, it would make more entertaining viewing, wouldn't it? But of course, we do not want to give Sam Swift Ninja any bad luck. But at the moment, he does have a 17-point lead then. And I think if he wins here today, I'm sure that not next race. I think it's the race after, one of the mystery races where Sam Swift Ninja could potentially be crowned the first ever world champion, the triple world champion. Amulto is currently second at the moment. So it's Oh gosh, I thought, oh yeah, those are the wrong one then. That would have been bad. Immortal is second, and 13 points in front of Menace in third position. Toy Coin currently fourth on that 96 points, and Lucas Percy currently down in fifth position on 94 points there. I think that in terms of stats, this is Percy's worst season then, sadly. I always throw a little nugget in there, don't I? In sixth position is Troy on 73 points, 51 points for Morrison, formerly known as Indigo. Then we've got Keza in eighth position on 48 points. Great result last time out for Keza and for Brabant as well on 46 points in that McLaren. Legends then making his 40th Grand Prix start today. I'm trying to work out when Legends actually missed the Grand Prix because he only debuted back in Bahrain of season 10 and he's made 40 Grand Prix starts already. That's absolutely redonkulous. That's incredible. Then we have got Van Von, who's in 11th position on 28 points, 23 points for Equals, Nick Candish on 22 points, 18 for Chappers, 11 for Cam, 11 for Mumford, Knowlesy on 10. Then the relegation zone is Coop as in Soup, Monarchy on 4, but he's been MIA. And have I put Silver, have I? And Chassa on 1. That's shocking behaviour indeed. The title says Silver, by the way, yes. Oh dear. In my defence, I don't have any, to be honest. To be fair, I did get up at 5:30 this morning, so I am a little wounded and worse for wear. I mean, I'm not going to start the stream. No, I'm not going to restart the stream. We'll have to just worry about it later on in the admin area. I'll let the ALR governing body sort all that out. In the constructors standings, we have Kick Sauber leading now on 26 points. Ferrari are second, then 26 back now because of course Ferrari disappointed race last time, and Sam Swift Ninja and Kick Sauber on a great race in Belgium, which has meant that they have elevated themselves up into the lead. Then Alpine in third position there. Alpine in third position then on 137 points. 108 for Mercedes, 105 for Haas, 89 for the RB team. Red Bull, who are behind their sister team, on 70 points. 52 points for the McLaren Mercedes, 32 for Aston Martin, and Williams brings up the rear on 28 points then. Shame on me, I know it's gold. I know I put silver. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even realise it until you started mentioning it as well. Shocking behaviour indeed. In the joint constructor standards, Kick Sauber have got a massive lead then. I've got a massive lead now, of course, of 104 points, and they have absolutely, especially in bronze and gold, they've been pretty relentless. Well, and silver as well, actually, because let's not discount out Flippy and, of course, Flippy's teammate Marsky as well, who have been pretty relentless in silver as well, haven't they? So the Kick Sauber are now leading the joint constructors. Well, they were leading before, but now they've got a 104-point advantage, and it's been very close up until the last week or two. Alpine are second then, and then we have got 43 points separates the Alpine and the Red Bull Racing team. Aston Martin only 2 points away from the Red Bull team, and then a massive 100-point gap separates the Aston Martin and the Haas team are in fifth position. 9 points behind the Haas team, the Haas I should say, is the McLaren Mercedes in sixth position. Ferrari in seventh on 266 points then. Williams on 230 points. RB on 194. That's all down to me. And then Mercedes in 10th position then on 175 points, sadly. And we've got a full-blown debutant tonight as well, which is fantastic indeed. Let me get me old jib off the up the screen. That's fantastic stuff indeed. Gosh, I'm getting I'm getting good at this. Great stuff. I mean, I've only been doing it for 5 odd years. Von Dutch says, Knowlesy, aiming for disqualification today due to the 0.0001 millimeter to my little too little on my plank net. Sadly, I know that. Goodness gracious me. By the way, I don't know the nose. I don't know about Knowlesy's plank, but I know about my own plank. Then, am I silver now? Says Percy. Sadly, we're all silver tonight. Then, yes, Chamber says the title's is silver. By the way, I apologise. Is it silver today? Says says Styles. Yes, it is. Bro, it's gold. Then I'm on the grid. Says Chamber. Said I know I'm joking because of the title. Laugh out loud. Stop the cap. Then, Gordini, let's go. That says Equel said we're currently just waiting for 2 more drivers to come in. Then we've got quite a lot of reserves in here tonight. Then we'll go through them in just a jiffy. Yes, but let's talk about the Chinese Grand Prix, shall we? It wasn't. I must admit, Australia was so good that we weren't going to get another repeat, were we? But I must admit, when I heard there was there was potential rain in the last couple of laps, I would have been spicy, wouldn't it? Oscar Piastri, what a drive home for Oscar. And I must say, Charles Leclerc, what a drive with that damaged front wing. That was fantastic. I must admit, I think that I did agree with Martin Brundle's statement. They should just taken the other end plate off the other side, shouldn't they, really? But that Ferrari looked really good. Just think of where Leclerc would have been if he didn't damage that car. That would have been pretty impressive indeed. Of course, he damaged it on the side of Lewis Hamilton, of course, his teammate, which may not have gone down too well. Of course, with the Ferraris had made contact there before, didn't they? Was it in 2016? And of course, that infamous race where Sebastian Vettel branded Danny Fiat the torpedo, which has always stuck with me because it's one of the funniest things that you'll ever see in Formula One. Then, but yes, we are just now waiting for a couple of drivers to come in, and then we'll go racing. Well, before we do, actually, of course, let's just take a look. So reserves tonight, and we've got Muta, who is racing for the first time since Australia. So Muta has not raced in the last 9 or 10 rounds. Then, so Muta back in the McLaren team again. Then, so he seems to be a super sub for McLaren, doesn't he? We might have to call him Mark Blundell. If anyone gets that statement, I very much pity you because you're older than me. No, just as old as me, I should say. Also in the reserve seats tonight, we have got Riley, who has raced in gold 3 times this season. He has been in the Aston Martin twice, but tonight he joins the Ferrari team, which is good stuff indeed. And then the Aston Martin team, sadly, once again, have not got a full host of drivers. So Marky again has only raced 3 times since getting that full-time seat, then, which is not very good. But I don't know the ins and outs of that. But that means we got a full-blown debutant tonight, which is the first full-blown debutant I think that we've had in gold since this season actually, which is Rent Dog, who would be Ren Dog. I apologise. As in the Aston Martin as well. And so once again, no, Aston Martin will only be eligible to score points with one driver then, which is very disappointing then, unfortunately. And Jordi Boxtel returns back to action. We haven't seen Boxtel since round 4 in Saudi Arabia, so it's great to see Boxtel back, and he'll be partnering Lucas Percy, and that's quite on topic, isn't it? Of course, any of you old school ALR viewers have probably watched the Season 8 Championship where Boxtel and Percy came to blows at turn 1 out of Tarzan here. One of the best. Is it one of the best infamous clips in ALR history? That one was, wasn't it? And of course, as both drivers were challenging for the championship, it was a freeway championship challenge back in those days, wasn't it? On F1 at 22, probably one of the worst F1 games in living memory, or what a modern memory. It's not as bad as 98. Nothing's as bad as 98. I got to say that. But what an incredible season that was there. As we are now counting down and ready to go then for the start of the I was going to say Chinese Grand Prix. It's not the Chinese Grand Prix, is it? It is the Dutch Grand Prix. Of course, after tonight, we've got one more visit in Europe, which is the Italian Grand Prix, and then we got 2 mystery rounds in a row. We are going to have 2 mystery rounds, then we're going to finish off the season in Qatar and Abu Dhabi then, and hopefully we'll have a championship showdown, but I highly doubt it with the speed and pace and precision that Sam Swift Ninja is on. As I keep mentioning, this will be the first ever triple world champion in ALR history for Sam Swift Ninja, so it is quite a big big deal indeed then. And you can see then the lush venues here in Zandvoort. Absolutely splendid stuff indeed. I think that Knowlesy mentioned something the other day about potentially a preview for the F1 2025 game is on the horizon as well, sometime in the end of this month, which is very interesting indeed then. And well, let's well, to be honest, 2023 wasn't too. I didn't enjoy 2023, and I've enjoyed this game more. But I think I've enjoyed this game more because 2023, when you did like careers and stuff, I had all kinds of weird and odd things that happened to me. Where my contracts got stuck, and then I had to restart the career because it just kept getting stuck, which is annoying. And then, of course, yeah, I had all kinds of stuff. I've had all kinds of problems with 2023, and then 2024. The only reason why I probably like this game more is because I've had none of that problems, albeit we've had other issues as well, and probably the game itself. Serious Russians joined us. I don't remember Blundell, not because I'm younger, but because I have Alzheimer's. Talking of which, Serious Russian, I've got a question for you. As you're an older gentleman of the generation, what deodorant do you use? Because I have bought a load of Old Spice from Amazon because it was on offer, but I have been informed that it's actually meant to be for the older gentleman, so I was just wondering if you wear it or not. Coming out of the pits now. That's because Rendon. So Rendon making their debut tonight as well. This time next week, Preston will be in the FA Cup semi-final. Bring on Villa. Oh, goodness me. To be honest, I really hope Preston do beat Villa, to be honest. As did Villa beat Liverpool? I don't know. No, actually, Liverpool lost to Plymouth. Boo. Oh, Lynx Africa. I use Lynx Africa as well, to be fair. Goodness me, we're so trendy. So just watching Rendog then, Outer Sky Flock, which I love that corner. Good stuff indeed, that is. You can see. If you joined ALR for all the top information of the world, then just come here. This is fantastic, isn't it? Lynx Africa duo, RIP. What do you use, Real Ashton? Oh, it's Red Dog there. Just cutting the chicane, but don't worry about that because it's just an outlap at the moment. Yeah, what do you use? Deodorant's on topic of conversation today. I'm an idiot, to be fair, because there were 6 bottles of Old Spice on offer in Amazon. I was like, that's a bargain. Because I thought that Old Spice was pretty cool because there's that man who, that was that Avert man who was like, Old Spice is great and all that kind of stuff, and he looked pretty hot. So I was kind of hoping that I would turn out like that man. A bit more tanned as well, but unfortunately that's not the case, sadly. So yes, that's shame on me then, to be honest. There you go. That's what you get for advertising that. And that's why Formula 1 got rid of cigarette advertising and smoking advertising as well, wasn't it? Because for people to get influenced like me very easily. Well, to be honest, there's no one like me, to be fair, because I get influenced by a lot of things, really, sadly. Out of Skyflock for Rendog, this looks pretty good so far for the debutant. It's our first debutant in gold this season, then, so good stuff indeed then. Old Spice is good, says Serious Worship. Oh, that's good then. So, to be honest, I think that me and you, Musher, are older gentlemen these days, aren't we? I don't think we're allowed to be hip these days, are we? So there's a car just getting out of the way of one of the Ferraris. Ferrari have got no representation here tonight, and that's the first time this season that Troy and Toycoin are not racing at all, because they both appeared 10 times in this championship. This is round 11. So Ferrari, who are second in the Constructors' Championship, that is not ideal at all for Ferrari, and that is a big shame indeed. So unfortunately for Troy and Toycoin, they're going to fall away in the Constructors' Championship. Rendog does a 10-4 then. 9-1 then for Keza, and of course Keza is flying high, then sky high. I don't think it's that film, that rubbish superhero film. How dare I call it rubbish? It's a cult following, doesn't it? Sky High does that. I can't remember most of the film, to be fair, but I just remember that it's a high school of superheroes. Cam goes second fastest. Cam feeling a bit hard done by after last week when he stayed out in the final safety car period, and unfortunately because of that had a bit of a it just fouled on the order. It was action packed, to say the least, wasn't it? Here's Jay Hings, and of course one of the men who I still think is involved in the championship challenge for the silver championship. By the way, this is not silver tonight. If I must admit, I keep thinking it is actually Monday today, as Coop as and Super has gone 4 fastest in the relegation zone, and Coop could be racing in silver silver next season. Equals is backed off. Unfortunately, Legends has invalidated his time, but not Riley hasn't. And Riley then out of the final turn, then up to the line now then for Lewis Riley. Then of course usually we see him in blue, where he's in the Scarlet Ferrari colours tonight there, and goes into fifth fastest. Jay Hings there, of course, as mentioned, this is ideal practice for Jay Hings, and his challenge for silver continues, and he goes fourth fastest, only 2/10 of a second away from Boxtel, runner-up and third position in the championship twice then over his career in ALR. And Legends there over at Skyflock, Menace just a bit further on then, and also Chappers involved as well. Where am I? I use what I can find. First come first serve, I say that. Rest in peace, Eddie and Big George Foreman. Absolutely, Big George Foreman, a boxer, and also was he? Is he also like? Because I also thought about the George Foreman grill as well when he passed away, which I hope that's the same George Foreman. If not, I apologise. Out of the final turn there for Menace, and Keza is teasing us. Sir's Mush and Keza currently faster, and now Immortal goes faster on an 8 then, and then we've got Menace who does a 9:003 then, and that is the front row of the grid thus far. Remember that there's single qualifying these days in ALR. That we don't have full qualifying in for. Chappers goes fifth fastest. Early season form was really good for Chappers. He has fallen slightly a bit behind the 8 ball, hasn't he? And here's Sam Swift Ninja on top of the world then at the championship, and also tip-top form in terms of the helmet designs as well, which is great stuff. I absolutely love a good helmet. That's probably the most important thing of your racer's repertoire. If that was the case, then I would have to say that surely I would be top of bronze then, with my pink helmet, of course, which, let's be honest about it, is probably one of the most boring helmet designs in the world, but I just love it. Well, I love this helmet as well. What I want for next season's game, I want better helmet designs. I've been asking for it for years and years and years. Classic tracks, better helmet design, and maybe just a more enjoyable game. Sam Swift, 900 of a second away from Immortal, goes second fastest at the moment. They're the world champion, the defending world champion as well. Cool. Here comes Nick Candish there. Yeah, he made the grill as well. He made more money with that grill than boxing, says Sirius Mushroom. Absolutely. I'm thank goodness for that, because I thought I was going to really fall on my sword with that one. I'm not sure if that was very appropriate, to be honest, to say that. But yeah, sad for George Foreman, and sad to see a man of his stature pass away sadly. Same for, and I missed, is Nick Candish goes fourth fastest, and absolutely, and whilst we're talking about George Foreman, is Muta's got the Oscar Piastri helmet on at the moment. Out of the final turn, and the banked turn 14 there was modified for Formula 1 returning to Zandvoort in 2020, which is then to be 2021. Across the line, Muta is a Sosa time runner thus far, a 10th of a second away from Kaz van Vonman. Ren Dog then going for a second bite of the cherry as well, then 2700 a second down as he goes over to Skyflock now. Yeah, Eddie Jordan, and what an absolute endorsed, not me, says Sir Bishop. Eddie Jordan, what an absolute legend in Formula 1 then. Of course, absolute sad news to hear on Thursday, wasn't it, or Friday. Awful news as well. And Eddie Jordan was battling with cancer, wasn't he? And sadly passed away, which is such a shame. Of course, the iconic Jordan 1991 car, of course, gave Michael Schumacher his debut. Remember that iconic 1-2 in Belgium in 1998, where Damon Hill won his 22nd and final Grand Prix in Grand Prix racing. And of course, Heinz-Harald Frentzen almost gave Jordan their Drivers' Championship in 99. Ren Dog improves by the minutest of and Ren Dog at the limit of his powers at the moment. Menace goes fastest by a 10th of a second there from Immortal, who's currently second at the moment now. I wonder if is that Track Evolution or is that Menace Max getting his eye in it? Cam currently 10th at the moment now. Boxtel in the 11th fast. Of course, Boxtel was absolutely fed up of racing at the beginning of the season. I do feel that it's very much similar to Lewis Hamilton, isn't it, for Boxtel? I hope he doesn't mind me saying that. But remember when Hamilton lost the championship in absolute brutal circumstances in Abu Dhabi? But let's not bring that up too much. But I feel for Boxtel as well, who was absolutely riding a wave of momentum in season 10, and it just all fell away for him in the final stage of that season 10. I do feel the Boxtel has not been able to get back his mojo since then. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just looking into it a bit too much, then, which potentially I am, because I do like to make mountains out of molehills on this kind of stuff. Riley finds out a quarter of a second there to go 14th fastest there. As Coop as in Soup is just coming down the back straight, and 2 DRS zones around the circuit. Love the helmet design from Coop. That's absolutely fantastic. 25 years since Buzzing Hornets. That's mad then. I think that one of my favourite ever liveries was the Jordan 99 car, and also the 2001 car. I love that 2001 car. Sadly, the 2001 car was probably even 2000 before the start of Jordan's downfall. Sadly, Cooper is the meat in that Ferrari sandwich at the moment. Just shows how well the Ferrari team are doing. Of course, getting in reserves at the very last minute, and both drivers are looking quite competitive in this session at the moment. 8 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Van Von sadly has picked up a bit of food poisoning, so he's not going to be feeling tip-top form there. But unlike Van Von, who's a much nicer person than I am, I would have sued the restaurant. But of course, Van Von, I don't think is going to do so. But very much similar to Mark Webber in 2008. Fuji, as he's into the pits now. So is that Legends going fastest there? 10 for the moment. Legends is there. Of course, what a season Legends has so far. He's in the top 10 in the driver standings. He's been superb. One of the most improved drivers on the grid then, and he just keeps getting better and better, doesn't he? Legends does. I'm talking to Mark Webber. Maybe a similar driver to Mark Webber, Legends is that, where he's just going every season, he just improves, doesn't he? And he goes 7th fastest as Legends in the RB, which is great for me because that is my team, of course. But no favoritism in the commentary box, I swear. Immortal 41 hundreds a second up as we go into Skyflock then. Second best livery was Arrow, says Sarah's Musher. I do have a massive soft spot for the 99, 2000, 2001 livery. What a livery said, because they were absolutely splendid. Yes, the Arrows 2000 livery was fantastic. I must admit, I quite like most of the Arrows. I did not like the footwork. The footwork was awful, I thought. Maybe I might get kicked out of my chair on this one, but no, I'm not even in a chair. I'm on a poof at the moment. But the livery of the Arrows was splendid. Absolutely love that course from 2000 to 2002. Of course, wasn't they meant to be sponsored by the Crown Prince of was it Nigeria? But then that turned out to be a scam. A lot of scams at F1, and that's not a scam. That's 700 a second quicker. Percy goes third fastest. Champers up into fifth. Goodness gracious me, there's a flurry at the finish line. As I'm talking about liveries, and of course I'm a material girl in a material world. That is basically me in a nutshell as a Formula 1 fan. As much as I try and pretend I know what's going on with the technical side, I do not, but I do get excited about the material things of Formula 1, whether it's car liveries, helmet designs, or even new mustaches on the drivers. Out of the final turn for Nee Candish and 6 Fastmo. Both Red Bulls are looking very phenomenal at the moment. 6 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Nee Candish displaces Champers and moves up into 5th. But Equal's also looking stronger as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. By the way, thank you for everyone who's joined us today. I absolutely appreciate giving up your time to this, especially as a lot of you would probably be quite weary-eyed, to be honest, and I'm sure a lot of you would probably be actually either on your sofas or probably in your beds there, drifted off to sleep. So I will try and give my best ASMR impression. I said that very slow because I could have said something else there. Equator's going 8 fastest there. Good stuff indeed. Yes, well, I did like the Jaguar livery as well. 2000 Jaguar livery was absolutely lush. Sadly, Jaguar, sadly the Ford back in a Jaguar was not potentially, was Ford absolutely serious with the Jaguar back in? I don't know, to be honest there, but the livery itself was absolutely splendid. How long before Sonoda gets the Red Bull seat, says Sarah's Musher? I've heard a whisper of TikTok, so let's take this with a pinch of salt. And we all know about my whispers. I get very excited about stuff and it doesn't happen. So this probably won't happen here. As into the pits comes Lucas Percy, former world champion. As Riley there just coming out of Sky Flock, then really pushing on. I read a whisper that it might actually be the Japanese Grand Prix where Sonoda might be put in that Red Bull. To be fair, I do. Drivers like Gasly, drivers like Perez, drivers like Alex Albon, Gasly and Albon are flourishing in their teams now. It is definitely a horrible car to drive. And it just shows how amazing Max Verstappen is, isn't he? To drive a car like that, it's very impressive indeed, isn't it, for Max Verstappen? But I really hope it's at the end of Liam Lawson's career, because that car is. There's a lot of drivers that seem to be getting put on the scrap heap because of that second Red Bull seat. It's a shame for Liam Lawson because. Yeah, he did look pretty competitive there, but I do think Tsunoda should be given a go as well. But I hope, again, like Tsunoda, if he doesn't flourish, then Red Bull have really got to take a look at that car, don't they? Because yeah, as much as Max Verstappen's doing well in it, I feel that they're never going to win the Constructors' Championship again if they only got one car doing all the lifting. Then is Kaz Van Votten then out on circuit. Then of course having to have a quick pit stop then on new tyres then, and he's just getting himself ready to go. Nah, Lawson is bad, says Sir Mushroom. Ouch. I thought he was pretty decent, to be honest. Then. But I hope that I do hope that Tsunoda gets a go, and just see how he gets on to this, because I think that Tsunoda deserved the seat anyway. Personally, and Liam Lawson should probably have just been put in the RB. Personally. The DRS has not been activated for Kaz as he is back in the pits there. So sadly for Kaz there's some issues with that, unfortunately. So we're just on board with Kaz at the moment. Knowlesy up into 40th position. Muta is invalidating his time. Knowlesy's on circuit. Riley is coming into the pits as well. So let's take a look at what Kaz is doing. That's coming out of Skyflock. Just realised it's the murder track. Yes, we've already gone through that bit of history. So it's much and ironically, the two drivers that crashed into each other are teammates tonight. And the Haas team, of course, Percy and Boxtown, who crashed in a two. I think it was season 8, wasn't it, on the F1 2022? Goodness gracious me! And I find that very ironic. I'm going to be honest. I wonder if the admins did it on purpose. May ran off. I was going to join the session, and May ran off. To be honest, it feels more like a silver. As much as I'm getting lambasted for the for putting silver on the title, it does feel a bit like silver. There's a lot of silver drivers in here tonight. Keza goes 5th fastest. Whisker behind championship leader Sam Swift Ninja. But Keza currently on the 3rd row of the grid. Is that the end of Keza's qualifying? Maybe. On board with Immortal, who's currently on pole position. Knowlesy is retired from the session now, so issues for Knowlesy. Down in 14th position. I don't think Knowlesy's going to be too fond of that then. Immortal currently on pole position. Currently he has been on pole position 6 times in 10 races so far. Immortal is on course to get 3 pole positions in a row. If he can improve his time, will stay where he is. Same team, same spice, please, says Serious Much. Oh, what's happened? Whilst I was looking down at the Immortal has had issues, and that lap there has been compromised, to say the least, unfortunately. Luckily, my stream's about 30 seconds behind, so I can now quickly look at the replay, which is great stuff indeed. Yeah, just half spun it, sadly. That's not ideal. Boxstyle then, who's got a Ferrari just in front of him, that's not going to help Boxstyle, is it? Qualify up the grid. And look at that then, there's a lot of sliding. The track temperature inched up a bit here. And is that now causing issues then with the... Oh, is that Ren Dog there invalidated? May run off as on in the RB as well. I'm sure he's in the RB in silver, isn't he, as well? So that's nice and clean. I love that. Jay Hings into the second to last corner. We're just, to be honest, I'm kind of lost now. Is Boxstyle just dropping back off then? Cam on a lap then as we're coming out of Skyflock. Here is Cam. Ketz has retired from the session. Let's see what Sam Swift Ninja can do. He's also backed off as well with 34 seconds to go. So a lot of drivers backing off then. Percy is about to start his lap. Menace Max is on a lap, I believe, then accelerating out now. Mortal then is going to have one more time run, and then I think that is going to be it then. But I think a lot of drivers... Oh, and I thought Menace was out of bounds there. What incredible judgment here for the Mercedes driver. Multiple pole position in his career then. Only that one win so far across the line, and Menace does not improve. And a frustration there from Menace there. And Nick Candish has got up to second fastest there. Only scored, I say only scored, I wish I scored 22 points in gold, but only scored 22 points so far for Nick Candish, but he's on the front row of the grid. Here comes Immortal, one of Equals' teammate. Equals is then out of the final 2 turns now, on board with Equals, a former Grand Prix winner, out of the final turn, then yellow flag then for one of the Red Bulls. I think that's Nick Candish. Across the line for Equals, goes 7 fastest and on row 4. Good stuff indeed then. What about Kaz? Kaz improves then and goes 9th fastest, but does not improve anywhere, does not improve his position then. Legends 10th position. Cam is gone into 11th position. Immortals on pole position. I've missed it. Immortals on pole position then as the checker flag is fluttering in the breeze. Percy across the line. Then what can Percy do? Percy does not improve. He stays full fastest. Sam Swift Ninja, what has he got left in the locker then? Out to the final turn for Sam Swift Ninja. Up to the line at 8.5. It's an 8.7. It's fifth on the grid for Sam Swift Ninja. It is Immortal on pole position then for the third time in a row. For the seventh time this season. Immortal then made a mistake on this first run, and I thought that was going to be curtains for the Alpine driver. How wrong was I? Immortal put me in my place there, and he has got the sixth pole position of his season, actually the seventh pole position of his season for the Alpine team. Magnificent stuff indeed. And in terms of his career total, that's his 18th pole position in 86 qualifying. So fantastic stuff for Immortal, and that is pole position then for the Alpine team and for the Alpine driver. Good stuff indeed there now. But hats off to Immortal, who's absolutely superb stuff indeed. By the way, it's Legends 40th Grand Prix start, so I can't remember if I said that or not then. But great stuff indeed then. Rise Chapman said, come on, chappers, knee candy. Immortal, as I was saying, and don't worry, Immortal. OG, that means he will finish sixth then. Immortal. Great time indeed there for Immortal, though. That's his seventh pole position of the season, his 18th of his career. He's in such rich form when he is second in the championship. I do think that Immortal, then, of course, 100% champion as well. Immortal is, of course, the first ever season ALR did of 100%. Was absolutely superb stuff indeed, wasn't it, for Immortal then? But maybe in the championship race as well, which is only 50% of the 100% distance, which is obvious, obviously. But I'm wondering now if Immortal is really starting to tailor his performance in the 50% races, and where he needs to really strike it a bit harder. So then, Immortal pole position then for the Dutch Grand Prix, and that is absolutely superb stuff indeed there for Immortal. As Jay Hings has apologised for ruining Boxtel's lap, I think that was. So that's very honest of you, Jay Hings, I must say. I would have waited till I got reported, but that's because I'm not a nice guy. Immortal pole position for the 18th time of his career. Nick Candish is second then. I think I'm saying it right, but I don't think I am. Menace in third, Percy in fourth, Sam Swift Ninja in fifth position. Of course, he's got 4 wins already this season, 8 podiums in 10 races. Keza sixth, with Equal 7 Chappers, Van Vaughn and Legends completes the top 10. Then we got Cam, Boxtel, Jay Hings, Muta, Nosey, Chapper, Chazza, Coop. I missed the rest, sadly. Oh dear. I tried, I failed, sadly. Well, it's very gloomy overhead, isn't it? There is absolutely beautiful sunshine in Zandvoort in the qualifying, but of course, as we roll on into qualifying, it's very gloomy out there here tonight, which is not ideal. And the Paddock Club there is going to not need their sunscreen lotion tonight, are they? So I'll still need sunscreen if I was out there, to be honest, because I'm being ginger. I'm very fair-skinned, which means if I even look out the window, I will probably get burnt then, and probably I'll turn into a tomato or a tomato. Tomato, and all that kind of stuff. Close enough, Sean. Absolutely. So, yes, indeed. By the way, if anyone's just joined us, nope, this is not silver tonight. This is gold. I apologise profusely. Yes, I blame the fact that I was up here at 5:30 on a Sunday. But what was my excuse last week then? I hear you ask that. To be fair, I had a nap most of last week. And of course, we got to do it all again in 2 weeks' time in Japan. However, luckily, there's no Formula 2 or Formula 3 in Japan, which means that some of us won't have to do it all night then. But having said that, who would like to watch Formula 2 and Formula 3? Well, I would, because I love it. As we're now going off the grid. I must admit, though, I don't know much about Formula 2 at all, to be fair. Apart from the fact that they're powered by Mechachrome engines. I thought it was raining, to be honest. Look at that. We've got all 3 types of tyre on the grid here tonight then. Chapman's, bruh, this commentary, I know, it's shocking. I don't even know why I'm employed, to be honest. To be fair, I think I'm employed because I'm the only fool that's available every Sunday. Unless it's Easter, of course, I'm usually digging into my eggs and all that kind of stuff, and probably not very good for my waistline or cholesterol, but luckily that is something I need to worry about when I'm 40. Immortal on pole position and on the soft tyres, and it's not a longish run down into turn one. Nick Candish is alongside him on row one. Menace in third position with Percy in fourth, and Percy then sadly not. I don't think he's involved in the championship fight this season, is he? But he still has 2 wins anyway, nonetheless. Fifth position is the double world champion, aiming to become the triple world champion in Sam Swift Ninja. He is on the soft tyres. Keza is on the medium tyres, and we got Equals in 7th with Chappers in 8th position. Row 5 is all soft then. Van Von, who's suffering from a bit of food poisoning, similar to Mark Webber, unfortunately. Then we have got Legends in 10th position, making his 40th Grand Prix appearance tonight in gold. Cam in 11th position. Cam was brilliant last week, but unfortunately no points was awarded to Cam. 12th is Boxstyle, the only driver on this hard tyre set, so that is not ideal. 13th position is Jay Higgs with Muta in 14th there. Muta making his first appearance in 9 races. Knowlesy in 15th with Chazza in 16th. Cooper as in Soup in 17th there. Riley in 18th. Rendog making his debut, or their debut tonight, then great stuff indeed. And at 20th position is May Ranoff, who didn't really get a proper time on the board. Even Sean Hello Racers, good luck. All drivers then with €10 in the bank account. Fantastic stuff indeed. That is certainly going on my Cadbury's cream eggs then. Lights are going to be on then, one at a time then. Here we go. 3, 4, 5. There's a pause, and then they will be distinguished. It's lights out, and it's go then, as we go running down into Tarzan, and Sam Swift is already through, and over to 4th position. Sam Swift is already looking for third, as they go 2 by 2 by 2. There's 3 abreast and in the back of the field, but back in the front then, and it is Immortal who is scampering away. Sam Swift is already over the third position. Who's on the inside there? That's Menace having a sniff, but nothing more of that. Onto the curb there goes the championship leader. Percy is down in position, as is Menace as well. Equals is up 1 position. Van Von is maybe he's got a bit of irritation in terms of the belly department, but he is flying at the moment, causing irritation for Equals. Kez is down 2 positions. That's sad. To up 1 position is Legends, with Chappers down 2 as well. That's not a good start either, unfortunately for the Williams driver. Jay Hings in 11 position there, with Cam in 12th, with Muta up 1. Boxout down 2 positions. We are expecting that Coop on the outside or inside of Knowlesy. Let's go on board with Coop now. Coop is giving Knowlesy a bit of a squeeze. There's almost a 3 abreast there going down here, and Coop there is through and passes Knowlesy, moves himself up to 16th position there. Chappers and Jay Hings are fighting for position here. Chappers has lost 3 positions there on the opening lap, and Chappers is trying to fend off Jay Hings. He has fended off Jay Hings there, but Chappers, of course, is on the soft compound tyres there. Out of the final turn then, and coming to complete lap 1. Nick Candish has lost out as Sam Swift Ninja has absolutely flown off the grid then on the opening stage of this race. And got to be contact, and there's contact between Jay Hings and Chappers, and Cam on the outside. Cam is now through and over to 11th position. Down into 12th there goes the kick Sauber, sadly. Boxstyle in 30th position there. He's made a position there, but look at Sam Swift Ninja up 3 positions there. He's taken off like a scalded cat there, hasn't he? Fantastic stuff indeed there for Sam Swift Ninja, aiming for his 5th Grand Prix win in 11 races this season. Absolutely fantastic. Back on board with Sam Swift Ninja now, as we're going to stake all the way back down to the battle for 14th, 15th and 16th then, which is Chazza then, who sadly has not scored a top 10 so far this season. However, he has got a fast lap then, of course. Unlike Formula 1, you can score. What is going on here? It is Muta having a sniff on the inside of the inside of his car, so going down into the chicane there. It's not the most ideal of overtaking opportunities down into the chicane there, is it? Legend full of win, says Jamie69. I would love to see Legends win this race, especially on his 40th Grand Prix start tonight then. Can he do it? He's down in 9th position at the moment. Then Sam Swift Ninja has taken the lead here in Zandvoort. There he goes, and through he goes, and up the inside there. Contact there between the 2 cars of Nick Candish and Menace going down into Tarzan. Muta is through, passes Boxstyle. Boxstyle's playing the long game here. Knowlesy's also falling down as well, as he is lost out to the soft shod Mayranov. Mayranov is through and into 17th position. Knowlesy is having to yield, and look at Riley on the outside there, but sadly, unlike real life, he's put me in my place. Riley has I was going to say that the outside line is not ideal on this game, but I've been put in my place. Sit down, Ginger Rage, you don't know nothing, which is absolutely true. Coop all over the back of Boxstyle now. Sadly, the Boxstyle on the hard tyres, the only driver on the hard tyres, is having a few issues at the moment. Then potentially with warm-up, Sam Swift Ninja leads then, but of course a DRS is available after the first lap then, which makes racing much more entertaining, doesn't it there? But I must say that it has not affected Sam Swift in his performance so far this season. If anything, he's been much more impressive this season, which is very hard to say, very hard to think after last season, where he was very impressive indeed. Then it's not the most longest of runs on the start-finish straight, is it? So overtaking around here could be at a premium, as Coupe as in Super there powers his McLaren Mercedes past the Haas Ferrari and up into 14th position there, and behind his teammate Muta. As we keep mentioning that Muta might be a bit rusty in Grand Prix races. His first race start in over 9 races there for Muta, but once again driving the McLaren there. Surely softs are a bad idea, says Serious Mushroom. To be honest, I was wondering if it might be a soft to medium race there. Riley is lost out to Knowles. Knowles has made his way back up there. Rendog on their David Knight there is down in last position, unfortunately, but Rendog doing a very good job so far in that Aston Martin car. On board with Equality, who's doing an equally good job in 6th position down the Alpine machine. Lovely stuff indeed there. Got a bit of indigestion there. Oh, goodness me. Probably all those chicken drumsticks I had for lunch, that is. I was an absolute dinosaur at lunch there. I was a carnivore, you could say. Out of the final turn, Sam Swift Ninja then leads then. Second position is a Mortal. Look at that, they've got a second already advantage. Now Menace is now really going to get very intrigued then with the back end of the Red Bull. Having said that, Serious Mushroom, I'm actually thinking that just the way those soft tyres looks like they're going off, I feel that maybe it might be a soft to hard race then potentially, or maybe a medium to hard race then, because looks like the soft tyres are starting to struggle already in this race then. But maybe I am counting me chickens before they hatch then, of course, which I'm very much looking forward to, as it is Easter very soon. Look at Lucas Percy all over the gearbox now, isn't there? I'm very much giving Nick Candish a hard time there. Out of Skyflock at the moment, though, is As You Are, follow the leader. But Percy's also on the medium tire. Oh, Percy is on the medium tires, I apologise. I think the softs will die out then. Hopefully some rain will spice it up, says Jamie. To be honest, I don't think we are expecting rain, but it is very gloomy out there, isn't it? Of course, we love a bit of rain, don't we, to spice the action up. As Boxster's got past Coupe, and also Rendog has got past Riley as well. But both of them have dropped off the back of the Crocodile there, and that's not ideal. Look at Immortal, though. Immortal has found his feet, found his tyres out of the final turn, and now Immortal is all over the gearbox of Sam Swift Ninja. He's going to very much try going down into Tarzan, but I think that he's got no DRS there. Why hasn't he got DRS? Is there a fault in that Alpine car? Well, that is really up Sam Swift Ninja. I'm sure he didn't have no DRS going down that back straight there, and that is costly potentially for Immortal. So he could have taken the lead in this Grand Prix. Instead, as Coupe and Boxtel renewing their rivalries, and there's a Mercedes on the inside. Who is this? And it is Chazza, who's also getting involved as well. Riley is in the pits, so not ideal at all then. If they are both new, it says soft mediums, but I don't know, says Camaro. Who's that then? And that's also Mayranov, also getting involved as well. Now Coupe as in Super is now the conga leader then behind on this conga line then, which is one thing I've always aspired to be, is a man who can lead the conga line. Who's that? That's Mayranov there off the circuit. Of course, I've been off there plenty of times. Also Logan Sargent has as well, sadly. I don't think Logan Sargent likes this race, does he? This is also the final race of his F1 career after that huge smash. Was it in qualifying in the wet? I think it was, wasn't it, sadly, for Logan Sargent. I think he's also pulled out of racing completely. Because was he meant to race in the IMSA racing series or something like that? Softs heavy fuel equals not good. Yes, maybe better for medium soft, says Camaro, as we got a lot of drivers on the mediums that might be going to soft. So there's me thinking they might go to hard tires. He may have ran off, says Serious Mushroom. Oh, shameful behaviour as out of turn 3 we come now. This is meant to be a serious channel, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so serious, I've been talking about deodorant and stuff. We're on board with, to be fair though, that is quite important to me, as of course personal hygiene is very important, but not at the moment, as I smell quite horrific there. But that's because these doors are making me sweat, and I think the box is also going to be sweating as well as we come into Skyflock again. I love that corner. I love the corner name as well. Van Von's in trouble. He's dropped down 2 positions. Chappers, yes, he's dropped down more. There's problems there for Kaz Van Vonden. There's contact between the two cars. And now here comes Cam then, who probably feels a bit, still probably feels a bit aggrieved about the issues. There's debris, and I think that Van Von and Cam did come together. There's no I think about it. They definitely did come together. And I think that potentially did Cam crowd out Van Von a bit too much there, because there was the width of the track there. I'm not sure if that was pretty wise there from the kick Sauber then, but it's easier for me to say up here because it's easier to talk about cars driving around in circles rather than actually driving around in circles. Then here comes Coop, and Coop then is through. Knowlesy is also now starting to take a bit of action as well in this Grand Prix, and Knowlesy then over the slip on the inside there. I thought he was going to clip the rear tyre of Boxtel, but it's all fine and dandy. But Coop now needs to start to pull away from it. Needs to start to really pull away. Knowles trying to go up high and trying to get a slingshot here, but unfortunately not at the moment. Well, tap in a car from your front wing will do that. Of course, the energy on these Formula 1 cars is incredible. Goodness me, then. As Knowlesy almost in the box of Boxtel there. Goodness gracious me. As Knowles there trying to get past the only hard runner. It started on the hard tyres. Lewis Riley has gone onto the hard tyres now. Is unfortunately having issues there. I do feel that incident could have been avoided there from Cam, and that's going to cause all kinds of problems. Unless, of course, you're Charles Leclerc in a Ferrari, who absolutely excelled today with damage to his front wing there after causing it on. As now Immortal has taken the lead, got past Sam Swift Ninja, and is now leading this race. Then with Menace now, I think the Sam Swift Ninja was struggling there, wasn't he? Kaz is now fighting with Cam, and Kaz is through. That's a commentator's nightmare to have Kaz and Cam fighting. May Randolph then up into 17th position there. Knowlesy is fighting with Boxtel. Knowlesy is doing a lot of harvesting. We can tell that from the rain light is flashing there. And it's not a brake light then either. It's because, of course, brake lights on F1 cars would be redundant because by the time the drivers see or react to the brake light, they would already be in the back there of their arrival, unfortunately. He got DQ'd, and Lewis did. Sadly, so did Pierre Gasly, didn't he? That's unfortunate. As Soundtrip Ninja off the circuit there, and that's going to allow Menace through, and Menace does get through on the inside. No, he backs off there. Of course, it is very difficult to overtake there, I feel. You need to be very much alongside the car in front, and sadly for Menace he wasn't, but luckily for Soundtrip he was there. I wonder if Soundtrip Ninja was just trying to change something in the car. And of course, there's a lot of changes you can make in these Formula 1 cars. It's not about just driving the cars now, is it? You've also got to get the cars in the right set, and goodness gracious me, you need a PhD to get into these cars these days. Legends up into 8th position now, passes Chappers, and still that tells me that the soft tyres are not going off as much as I would have expected there, which is quite, as now Knowlesy leads this crocodile, as this battle for 14th position is very much heating up there, and look who's on the outside, it's May Randolph there, of course. Well, I thought he was going to have a carbon copy of Season 8 there, but only difference is it would have been Boxtel and May Randolph rather than Boxtel and Percy currently in 4th position at the moment there. But soft tyres, I thought were going off a couple of laps ago, but all of a sudden they have stabilised then potentially. I wonder if it's like China, where the graining has potentially cleared up potentially. How many times can I say potentially? I think that was 3 times in that sentence, so I think that is my personal best at the moment. So Soundswift Ninja's now all over the back of Immortal once again. Of course, there's yellow flag. What's happened there is one of the McLarens is crawling. I think that might be Muta who's had an issue there. Muta driving superbly well tonight in that McLaren Mercedes, but unfortunately, he might have made a mistake there. He's now 5 seconds away from the car in front. Here comes Soundswift Ninja, relinquished the lead last lap, but he's not going to take the lead this lap there. As look at them all, they're condensed enough at the moment. Goodness gracious me. And look, here comes Kaz. Kaz is through, and up into 8th position, getting past Legend. She's dropped down to there. As Chappers has also lost out there, as I think that all of a sudden Kaz has gone up 2 positions. They're on board with Chappers. He's down in 10th position in the Williams machine at the moment. They're all behaving. I don't like change, and says Sirius Russia. To be honest, we're only on lap 11 there. There's a lot of things still to play for in this race. So hats off, by the way, to Jay Hings. Drawing a superb race so far. Just underlines his credentials in silver, doesn't it? It's been superb stuff. By the way, this is not silver tonight. Some fool who's been doing the streaming tonight just thought it was Monday. That was me. Unfortunately. Nick Candice has dropped off the back there. He's out of DRS range. On board with Lucas Percy, who is just keeping tabs on the top three at the moment. There was top four now, so Nick Candice dropping off. Equal's doing a great job as well. Nick May ran off is dropped away. Chaza is through, or is he? As he goes back on the inside, contact there between the two cars. And May Randolph was that a well, not sure really. I think that you have to go for the gap, don't you? Come on, chappers, you got this, says Darcy. On board is Sam Swift Ninja, who retakes the lead here, and Zambor passes Immortal back into the lead. They're going into Tarzan now, and I'm surprised that Equals has not passed the Candice there, but at the moment he's got to wait another lap there. Also, we got Van Bommel, who's now the second. He's now got the second DRS train there. Coop and Soup there, still fighting with Knowles up the inside. This is crucial because potentially one of these two drivers could be racing in silver next season. As it stands, as both of them are near the bottom relegation zone, I must say though that as yellow flag is what's up. Chazza's off the circuit, and that's where Ricardo crashed there and hurt his hand back in 23. And sadly for Chazza, he might need a safety car now, or even a VS, well, probably a safety car to bunch up the field. That is a lot of damage there. Chazza's going to have to come in the pits. A hard tires is a must now, I feel, for Chazza. So he's probably going to go on the same strategy as Riley, but 6 laps different as back at the front. Excuse me. Back at the front, Sam Swift Ninja leads the way with Immortal in second position. Third is Menace. For fourth position is Percy. Equals has just dropped off the back there. I'm wondering if it's just the dirty air off the back of that Red Bull that is causing emissions there. The two medium shot cars there. There's Percy having a look there, but it's so narrow. This is an old school circuit, this is, isn't it? Of course, there's Legend is the first driver to blink. He's coming into the pits. Legend is there from 10th position there. And what tires is going to go on then? This is going to be this is going to give us an inkling about what is going on in the rest of the race then. As Knowlesy and Coop there, they are having an incredible battle. And look at this, once again then, I'm trying to keep an eye on everything, but it's so difficult because Boxtel up the inside into turn 3, outside into turn 3, I should say, trying to go on the outside, he's going to get a slingshot. Knowlesy gives him a bit of racing room there, and was Knowlesy too generous there on Boxtel? Maybe, but they're going side by side, and into Skyflock. Boxtel takes 14th position, passes Knowlesy, and their battle is allowing Coop as in Soup then to now start to pull away. He's 6/10 of a second in front, but I think he needed to battle a bit harder than that then. So as Legends is now on medium tyres, and so that is interesting. Back at this battle here, so Samsung Ninja is pulled away by 4/10 of a second now. I thought Immortal lost it there, coming out to the banking, across the line once again then. So no one is pitted out of the top 6, and it is still status quo, or is it because Percy's going for it? He's having a look on the inside there. Former world champion Percy then trying to get past. And of course, season 9 world champion was Percy, and through he goes into 3rd position. Great stuff indeed. Then back at this battle here then, as Jay Hinks is now through. Good stuff indeed. Then Boxstar has got back past Coop as in Soup. Then Knowlesy is having a sniff, but nothing more than that as Coop trying to get a run out of the exit of Tarzan, but no dice at the moment. Oh my goodness me. Medium to soft it is, says Serious Mushroom. Knowlesy on the inside. Oh, not quite though. As May run off there. It's just keeping a watching brief, is he? They're just watching and waiting. There, is he? He's like a shark, isn't he? Or piranha. Do piranhas just watch? I don't think so. I think they just go and start nibbling at your toes, don't they? Potentially. But then again, I'm sure in that film, 3D Piranha, they do more than nibble your toes, don't they? Or something like that. But I've never watched it, of course. I've watched the other one, 3D, what's it? 3DD Piranha. Goodness me. Out of the final turn then, and let's see what is occurring then, coming down into turn 1. Well, we will see, Oldie, as out of the final turn, and here comes Immortal. So Sam Swift Ninja is elected for the inside, but Immortal's backed off, and now Percy's up the inside once again, out of Tarzan. But oh my word, that is getting very fraught. Then Percy's still there. There's going to be contact. There is contact. Jay Hinks has got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and now look at that. Percy's got the outside line, and he takes the position. Percy's up into 2nd position. Oh, there's more contact then as we go onto the narrow part into Skyflock. Jay Hinks is going to be kicking himself on that one, because I think that Jay Hinks could have scored some points tonight. I always get it wrong. Says Serious Mushroom. As you do, Serious Mushroom. That is why I did do very well in Belgium. And it was nothing to do with the fact is I think I went on my own strategy, didn't I? Percy is in 2nd position. However, I try and forget that Belgian Grand Prix, because it wasn't very good for me. Lap 15 out of 36 around here. My word, then this race is absolutely flying by the moment, isn't it? Goodness gracious me, I've even got a bit of sweat on my brow there. Box style flashbacks, says Serious Musher. I must admit, I was getting a bit of flashbacks as well. Goodness me. Those soft tyres are hanging on very well, aren't they? Oh, I feel so sorry for Jay Hings, though, because Jay Hings is driving superbly well. And into the pits. That's a Mercedes. It is on the medium tyres. And look at this. And now Percy leads. A mortal second. And Sam Swift Ninja's down into third position there. Percy leads it. And Menace is the first driver in the top four to blink. And he has come into the pits and gone onto the hard tyres that Menace has said. Now I wonder if he's going for the undercut here, isn't he? But the question is about traffic. Where is Menace? Menace is not coming to the pitch yet. He's going to be behind this. He's going to be right in the heart of this incredible and ferocious battle, which has now transpired for 10th position. So I don't think Menace is going to be too happy with this because he needed to have clear track. And on those hard tyres, I'm surprised he's coming to the pits, Menace. I thought he might try to leave it a bit longer. Yeah, I got it wrong in Belgium. Sure, my fault. Testing will start tomorrow, says Serious Pressure. Great stuff indeed. It's like Serious Pressure and I share a team. We don't. And now on the inside goes Menace and threw it into 13th position. And good overtaking there from Menace, but he's going to lose a bit of time coming through this traffic there. And also, don't worry, Serious Pressure, I blame Farf anyway. Out of the final turn then, and Percy leads by 4/10 of a second for a Walter in second. Sam Swift Ninja's in a race tonight, but Sam Swift is in the pits, and so he's hard up on those soft tyres, and he's going to be going on to the medium tyres. Now, Percy cannot get out of DRS range, but also the pits is Equaz as well, so Equaz is probably concerned about his teammate, because that's the problem on two competitive drivers in the same car. You will get held up by your teammate, as Cam is now in 6th position. Champions number 2, superb 5th. A great stuff indeed then. As look at this, and now then is as Menace Max there, as Menace is going to be out in front of Sam Swift, and also Sam Swift Ninja is now in the heart of this battle. He's gone over the white line there, but I think he should be fine there, Sam Swift, and Sam Swift is now in front of May Randolph there. Oof, I hope May don't run off because of course that's my birthday, but wink wink nudge nudge. It's oh my word, and Menace is through and into Skyflock. What a manoeuvre. Gosh, I sound like one of the old wrestling commentators there. Great manoeuvre there from Menace, and now up into 9th position. He's going through this traffic quite well. So is Sam Swift, who's got past Knowles up into 11th position. Here is Menace all over the gearbox now of Boxtel. Boxtel, of course, is Keza's through. What's happened to Nick Candish there? Nick Candish, Keza had there's a 2-second difference there between Nick Candish and Keza, his teammate, but there's problems for that Red Bull. What's happened? I didn't see a yellow flag, but he's coming to the pits, and there's problems there for Nick Candish, and that will be heartbreaking for the Red Bull driver. He's been superb this race tonight. Oh my word, as Sam Swift Ninja's now got past Cooper as well, and look at that, he's now coming up to the back of Menace, and Menace has gone from medium to hard tyres, while Sam Swift has gone from soft to medium compound tyres here. As my word, then the pit stops are underway now as we're half distance, and here comes Sam Swift and Boxtel, former championship rivals. Sam Swift is up into 8th position now. Boxtel is trying to find his feet back in this race. Is that rain? There's a bill of rain coming down on the cockpits here. Goodness me. Now that is really going to throw cat amongst the pigeons here. There is rain falling from the sky. It is very light at the moment. And does that get heavier as the race goes on? My golly gosh, this is going to get interesting then. Oh my gosh, and as we come out of coming into turn, I think it's 11 actually, to be fair. I don't even know where we are on track. Oh, we're on the DRS straight, and my word, then here comes Sam Swift Ninja, but there is rain afoot then, so the drivers who haven't pitted yet. Oh my goodness me, and look at that on the outside, contact between the two cars. Sam Swift Ninja also made contact as well, and look at that, as Immortal takes the lead of the Dutch Grand Prix, as it's getting very hairy between the two McLaren cars. So when in the soft tyre is going to fall off then, they probably have fallen off there, but having said that, Immortal's driving superbly well. And now Sam Swift is up into 6th position. He passes Menace and takes 7. And we got 3 abreast going down into turn 1, as it's the 2 McLarens and the Williams there. 2 of the most famous British race, 2 of the most famous racing names on the Formula 1 grid there. But it's only light rain at the moment. I don't think we're anywhere near intermediate tyres there. Do you speak of your famous setup, Sean? I don't know. He would think he would not trust you anymore, says Camera Racer. My setup is absolutely fantastic. Camera, I don't know what you mean. My goodness me. To be honest, if this rain doesn't get any heavier, it don't look too dark out there, does it? It maybe just a sprinkling. Maybe these drivers can stay on the as Equals is very keen to get past Muta here. There's a bit of a rear banging there. Goodness gracious me! And look who's that! That's Aston Martin of that's Kaz who appeared 5 laps ago, and he's going to be a major factor now. And look at that up the inside. Percy retakes the lead there, and now Kaz needs to get through as well because Legends is also all over his gearbox. Going to go up and under here for Kaz. Kaz is on the outside. Not the setup. Not the setup. One was yours. Laugh out loud. Out the final turn there comes out turn 14. My goodness gracious me. Well, fantastic. As we've got intermediate runners out there, which I think is far too early. It's May Ranoff and Nick Candish and Chaza all on medium tyres. There's no spray out there. It's not nowhere near wet enough yet. And I'm wondering what the driver's going to do, because at this moment in time, it is nowhere near wet enough. And the soft runners of Equals is forcing his way through. And Equals is going to be through on Knowlesy. That's a great manoeuvre. And Knowlesy's not going to be feeling too happy about that one, is he there? But I'm sure that, of course, Knowlesy, as ever, is the gentleman in Grand Prix racing there. And I think the other admins might... Oh, he's off! That's Jordy Boxall off the circuit. Knowlesy is off as well. It's getting slippery out there, ladies and gentlemen. And Boxall's off again. Oh, no. And Boxall, who was driving quite a sensible and precise race, is off the circuit. Oh dear. And Coop is also crawling as well down this back straight there. Oh, Immortal's got a 10-second penalty. There's a car on the outside there. Cooper's giving him a squeeze. And Immortal is going to be kicking himself. That's 10-second penalty for Immortal. He's going to have to come in the pits, isn't he? The rain has not got any heavier. Here comes Kaz then as Immortal coming in the pits potentially the wrong time. It depends on how long this rain lasts then. Intermediate runners are not doing anything at the moment. They're sadly down the back of the field there, but the raindrops are starting to get heavier now. Immortal is out in front of Gagler cars, which is quite important. Locking up the inside tyre there was Immortal, our poles here. Second behind Menace, and then a couple of seconds behind Sam Swift Ninja, as Rendog is down 20 laps on those medium tyres and is out of the pits. Comes Muta. My word. Oh, gosh. Legends all over the back of Coop at the moment then. So technically your fault then. Then you owe me a loss of money. Yes, that's Cavalry Racer. I refuse to pay until you improve then. Okay, I'll do my best. Send you one tomorrow as and for that. Good man. Oh, so serious question. You don't serious question. You still said it. That's shameful behaviour. I would never do such a thing. Cam there is dropped down to 6th position, but Cam has not pitted. Who else hasn't pitted in this race? And his Legends now up into 10th position. Percy hasn't pitted. Keza hasn't pitted. Chappers hasn't pitted. Sam Swift Ninja has pitted. So is Menace. Cam has not pitted. Nor has Cam has not pitted. Immortal's pitted. There's a lot of drivers out there trying to hang it out there, like Cook, Knowlesy, Boxtel, and Rendog. This is the moment. It's quite a nightmare start. And Chaza is out of the Grand Prix. Down to Tarzan. And all these drivers here, so Coop and Knowles have not pitted, but they're doing a good job actually, sticking onto the back of Legends at the moment. It's very greasy out there. We've seen Boxtel and Knowlesy go off the circuit a few laps ago then, but this rain is far from heavy at the moment. And I'm wondering what Percy and Keza are going to do, and Chappers, I should say. May Ranoff has got our first 3-second penalty of the night. I think it is there. Look at Immortal trying to get past Cam here. Of course, I think these two did trip over each other. Cam there, of course, still got damage to his front wing. But once again, like in China earlier on with the Ferrari Charles Leclerc, that damage doesn't look to be holding him back too much. So great driving today from Cam. And this is 2 races in a row that Cam has absolutely been driving superbly well. And hopefully he gets some points for his reward tonight, because he's been fantastic. I used one, for God's sake, says Serious Mushroom now. Sadly, Mushroom, now it's you have been rused, unfortunately. On board now with Sam Swift Ninja as Chappers has come into the pits. What tires is Chappers going to go on? I do feel the brain is just not heavy enough. It is not actually getting any heavier at the moment. I'm wondering if the drivers might have to think about going in the pits there. The top runners are potentially probably going to think about going on soft tires. Now, Equals is still on soft tires. Chappers has come into the pits and thrown on a set of soft tires. Of course, no grooves in these tires. Of course, the groove tire only lasted 8 years, didn't it? But of course, that is one of my most favourite eras of Formula 1, but that's going to move. Gonna be like Belgium in F2. Won't get wet enough, says Serious Mushroom. That was a cracking race. I was absolutely loved that race. And of course, remember in F2 as well, there was no wet tyres, of course, was there? Which made that race even harder than what it was there. It was a great race. I absolutely love that one. On the outside goes Samswift Ninja, now making his way up to second position. He's 9 seconds away from Percy. However, Samswift Ninja has not pitted. Oh no, and Equos is off the circuit, and he's well into the wall there. That's a safety car, and now this is going to be very interesting indeed then. So that is really from the cat amongst the pigeons, and Champions is going to be absolutely lambasted this lot then. Equos out of the Grand Prix, and that is a big blow indeed, because I think that as into the pits because Percy, that is a big blow because Equos is driving superbly well. Scraps says Equos. So I wonder if did Equos fall off the road, or is that hard tyres going on for Percy? I'm surprised that ain't the soft tyres, you know. And that's medium tyres coming out in the Kick Sauber garage. Kesla's on the soft tyres. Is anyone going to risk it and stay out then? Into the pits then comes the Kick Sauber, the championship leader on the medium tyres. Legends have got a 10-second penalty. Oh, he's going to be kicking himself there. Kez has gone soft there. Oh, I love this camera shot. Look at that then. And now as they go to work and they're going to change the nose cone, Cam is driving superbly well again this week, like he did last week. Great. Oh, look at that. I'm going to be honest, I have got a lot of blood flowing to my toes. That is fantastic camera work. Intermediate tyres for a Molotov. Now that is a curveball. I must admit, this rain is not getting any heavier. It's been raining for a number of laps now, and it is not as. Oh, Muta's got a 10-second penalty as well. As out of the pits now comes Boxtow. As also Muta coming out as well. Jay Hinks there is also now serving his penalty. Change on the nose cone for the Ferrari team. Look at how dirty that Scuderia is then. Ooh, what to do? I would quit, so I don't mess up my choice. Says Serious Mushroom. So would I, to be honest. He can discover out the pits as well, but I never pit and quit. Out of the pit. Intermediate tyres for Riley. May Randolph is out there as well. Safety car then is now, and Percy leads, but it's on the hard tyre. I'm surprised Percy's gone on the hard tyres, you know. Come on, Keza, says Serious Mushroom. I might be wrong here. We all know that I'm always wrong more often than not, but I'm surprised he's gone to the hard tyres. He's the only driver apart from the second Ferrari of Jay Hings going on the hard tyres. I thought softs would be the best way to go at this stage now. Samsung Ninja's gone on medium. Of course, Percy couldn't go on the medium tyres because I have to use 2 types of tyres in this Grand Prix. Keza is in third, soft tyres. 4th is Menace. 5th is Champions. Legends. What a shame for Legends there on with that 10-second penalty. Oh, that is good. Nosey in 7th position there. Great 17th there. Cam in 8th position. Even brilliant. Just as good as well. Coop in 9th position. Malta in 10th. Who's out the pits? I think that's Legends coming in the pits at the service. 10-second penalty. Equals out of the race. And that's disappointing for Equals. And if I'm not very much mistaken there, that is Equals' first retirement in of the season there for Equals. So it's very rare to see Equals out of the race then. Snifflegate, says Serious Mushroom. I have you know, Mushroom, that I was very ill. But I only quit when I spun. So there you go. But to be fair, I did spin when I was trying my best, like just to keep my head up and stuff like that. But I'm said that I'm a bit of a wimp when it comes to being ill, because even if I do have a sniffle, even if I have like the minutest of like a cold or anything like that, normal people would just carry on with their day. Not me. I am on the sofa for the rest of the year. As they're on board with the water. Having said that, last time I was really ill was I think it was around Christmas of 2023, and I must have been ill because I left all my KFC, which has never happened before in the history of mankind, which I'm still a bit angry about it to this day, to be honest, because wasting the KFC is disgraceful. I would have bet it, but sadly it was about a week later because I don't even know what I had, but it was awful. But anyway, enough about my health or anything like that. Goodness me. I dinged with Kazban, and I couldn't get out of each other, unfortunately. Says Equals, oh, you dirty gentleman. Who's that? That's Mutra off the circuit there, and he's on dry tyres. Is that saying that the track is getting wetter? I don't think it is. I think it's far too dry for intermediate tyres. Anyone that's on intermediate tyres, I think that's the wrong call. Get a room, says Serious Mushroom. Disgraceful behaviour, Equals. We're before the watershed. Even though this race is, I've got to say, this race has been ploughed a lot. So I thought it was one of the short races of the season, but it's already 8:30. Goodness me. I'm getting worried there because I might not be in bed before my 9 o'clock bedtime. I might get towed off. Percy leads. Second position is we got Muta in the pits. 3 second. How has Muta got 3 second penalty there? Hopefully he can appeal that because I'm thinking he's got a penalty. Damage the car as well. Then intermediate tyres that has gone on. We've got a lot of pit stops happening out there at the moment. I think that penalty for Muta should be stricken off the record there. But we'll see what the stewards have to say about that, because the stewards cannot be as forgiving. I should know about that. I haven't said that. I've only been reported once this evening, Bronze. That was after, ironically, hitting Vintage. I don't know what it is, but me and Vintage always seems to hit each other. And it's really shameful as well, after Vintage gives us so much support to ALR then. So perhaps I might be in a bit of trouble next time we hit each other, as Muta coming out of the pits as well. So the safety car's been out for a number of laps now. Look at the pit stops around here, shall we? How do I do that? Goodness me. I thought you could look at pit stops. Oh, there they are. So we've got 3 pit stops there for Legends, for Nii Candish, and for Muta. There's everyone else there, and everyone else, some on 2, some on 1 stop there. This has been an entertaining race, to say the least, this one out there. Safety cars at the moment then. Switch over is close to Sir's Mushroom. Safety cars in the south. Is it? I must admit, I'm still thinking it's miles away, to be honest, Mushroom. But then again, let's be honest about it. I've always been caught with my pants down every now and again. I know what it is. It's you. How dare you? Out of the, I'll go down the bottom, and the safety car's in this lap then. So Muta's got to get his skates on those intermediate tires. I feel that the intermediate tires is the wrong choice here, but luckily that's just an opinion, and that's not a fact. Then for the drivers on the intermediate tires, and they know much more about Grand Prix racing than this man does. We'll be going racing just a jiffy. I feel Percy may have made the wrong call as well myself. And I wonder what the racers in the comments think about that then. But then again, the racers in the comments probably ain't going to tell me because they feel sorry for me. We're going. Well, actually, Mushroom will be right, because look how damp it is down the back straight. We're racing there, and here comes Keza. Keza's on the inside then. He's on the inside. He takes it. He takes second position, passes the championship leader. And Cam getting past Knowlesy already. Knowlesy is not going to take that kindly, though, is he? But he might have to, and it's Cam there, forces his way past. And on the inside, that McLaren of Coop there, coming in a day late and a dollar short. And unfortunately, that is damage to the McLaren, and that's Coop's race done and dusted. Look at Immortal, he's got no pace on those intermediate tires, and he's going to have to survive here. And look at that Menace there, he's all over the gearbox there. And look, Percy is in major peril now, because Keza, who's going for his second Grand Prix win tonight with just 10 laps to go. Keza, send it, says Serious Russian on board with Menace. My word. And Menace on the inside then. Oh, goodness me. And Sam Swift, I think, is struggling. Has he not got those tires at the time? Here comes Chafford as well. Good gracious me. I need to get some air into my lungs then, because this is going to be an absolute fraught final couple of laps then, is it? Look at these cars, and my goodness gracious me, the DRS is still enabled then. It is still raining, but it's not raining heavy enough for the intermediate tyres. But Serious Motion might be on the money here, because it is quite damp down the start-finish straight. We'll have another look at that. On board now with Sam Swift Ninja, but here comes Keza. Keza's through, takes the lead then. Here comes Sam Swift Ninja through as well. Look at the pace of that kick, Sam. And Keza there just trying to keep it on the where? He's trying to keep it on the middle of the track. I don't know what I'm saying. Trying to keep it on the centre of the track. That's it. Yellow flag. What's happened? It's Rendon. Oh no, he's off the circuit. Back at the front, Keza leads. Second is Sam Swift. Percy down the front. The hard tyres are not going to be switching on at the moment, are they? On board once again with Menace. Oh goodness me, contact. There's more overtaking. Cam is up in the fifth. He's flying through the field. He's like a man possessed. His Cam is at the moment. Fantastic 17th there. And look at that. The track is getting greasy, but it's still not enough at the moment there. The rain is still coming down too light, I feel. Those intermediate tyres are Immortal. It's still in the ballpark now. It's still in the ballpark. And 10th position there. The other intermediate runners of Nii Candish, Muta, Riley, May ran off in Rendog are all hoping that it's going to rain now. It has to rain now, doesn't it, there? If the drivers if the intermediate runners has any up there. On board with the Red Bull then. Nii Candish is off the circuit. He's pointed the wrong way. Down the halfway down the back straight there. I think he must have made contact, because there's no way any Candish would have fallen off the track there. He's got no wing either. It's a VSC. Oh my word there. It's a VSC, and Percy, I thought Percy was going to abandon the hard runners to come to the pits. And position says for the positions at the moment there. Keza leads. Sam Swift in second position. Percy's down into third now with Menace down in fourth position. Sadly for Immortal, he's down 9 positions. However, I think that this one is going to get very hairy before the end of this one. I wish I could get hairy, but sadly I can't grow hair anywhere. Virtual desktop. And goodness me, my Nii Candish out of the race there as the Red Bull mechanics going to work, but Nii Candish out of the Grand Prix sadly then. And I think that Nii Candish might be furious. Then as Serious Russia said, on your left, Farfetch. then. As I wonder if Sir Smasher was actually Steve Rogers in disguise then. Guess my hope was right then, says Jamie. Absolutely, a bit of a perspiration from the sky. Really, absolutely causes chaos. VSC has been out for quite a long time here, hasn't it? But I think we're going to get going in just a few minutes. Jamie, Rain, hooray, DRS is available. We're go. And now Sam Swift Ninja is all over the gearbox out. He's going for it. He's having a look there, going down to the chicane. It's I think it was a contact there between the two cars behind them, potentially out of the chicane as well. Keza is very much under the caution. He's got soft tyres, but Sam Swift Ninja has been absolutely incredible since making his debut in ALR. With so many wins in such a short space of time, that he's about to break the all-time records in ALR. Keza goes late, and Sam Swift Ninja has taken evasive action. He's on the outside. They go wheel to wheel, and Sam Swift takes the lead. Is Keza going on the inside? He flings it back on the inside. Sam Swift on the outside. They're going wheel to wheel. Sam Swift takes the lead of the Dutch Grand Prix with 6 laps to go. Wow, incredible, fantastic, absolutely incredible. With just 6 laps to go, that state safety car could help the intermediate runners as well. Immortal's driving superbly well on those intermediate tyres. He's got to make sure he doesn't burn through them, though, if the rain does get heavier, though, for him. It's sadly for Keza down in second position. Now look at that. Look how wet it. Look at how much Percy's struggling there. The track is damp. It's greasy, but it's not ready for intermediate tyres just yet, I would say that. But my goodness me, it is getting closer and closer, isn't it? And look at the amount of struggles that Percy's having at DRS that is still enabled at this stage of the race. Then Keza is just in DRS range as well from the race leader. Another drive out for Keza, going for a second podium in the space of 2 weeks in Belgium and here tonight in Zandvoort. What a performance there for Keza. Really very much said struggling at the beginning of the season, that it was absolutely furious with some of the driving, but all of a sudden Keza is absolutely superb well now. Patience now, Keza. DRS is your friend then, says Serious Russia. But at the moment, Sam Swift Ninja trying to pull out. Here comes Menace up the inside. Contact there between the two cars as Percy is squeezing Menace almost into the wall. Similar to Schumacher and Barrichello in 2010 Hungarian Grand Prix. That was extreme though. Cam driving superbly well in 5th position there. Chappers is in 6th there with Knowlesy 7th. Van Von in 8th position there, driving superbly well. Van Von is there, but he's not feeling well at all then. Laptop is having a fit then. Absolutely, I'm having a fit as well as we go into Skyflock again. Percy's off! Percy's off, and Cam has collected the Haas car. That's a humongous smash, and Percy, oh my word, that is just so unlucky. And Percy, I think it just sums up the season for both drivers of Cam and Percy, because both drivers have had so much rotten luck, and Cam was on course for a major points haul again, and again it's been stolen away. Percy, who was on the hard tyres but left it, who stayed out then, who was waiting for the rain but unfortunately didn't come, gone onto the hard tyres, was in prime position to score a podium, is sadly down at the back of the field now. Where is Cam? Cam's got a lot of damage on that kick salver. I think that Cam, and sadly Cam and Percy, I don't think they're going to get points in this race now. Cam is in the pits there, and I think that the kick salver is going to be furious because he was on course to score a superb point scoring finish here. As look at this, as Muta now up into 11th position, getting past Jay Hings there. But Muta does have a penalty. I don't think Jay Hings does now. He's got rid of that 10-second penalty at the moment now. Back at the front then, and this is how it is. Keza is still in DRS range at the moment on the soft tyres. Menace in second. Menace in third. Chappers and Knowlesy 4th and 5th. This is a great day for Williams. They're last in the constructors, but this is all of a sudden could absolutely change their fortunes. Van Vollen is now in 6th position. Boxel 7th. Immortal on the intermediate tyres still is in 8th position there, and I wonder if he's going to start to feel a bit more happier then. Coop as and Soup in 9th position there, and less damage on the McLaren, but yeah, he's still in there. Great stuff. Legends, who had a 10-second penalty, had to come to the pits, is now back in 10th position there. Muta in 11th there. The intermediate tyres is not working for the second group of drivers, sadly. But it looks like the intermediate tyres are probably better than the harder tyres. Percy has stayed out then, and for Percy there is going to be quite disappointed with that. Look at that, does Kesa's now out of DRS then, and now he's going to menace all over his gearbox as well on lap 33 out of 36, and 4 laps to go in this incredible race. The rain is still not heavy enough yet then. Keza drove the day there, did it? Keza, Cam, Nosey, Samsit are your choices, says Nosey. Surely got to pick, or Becca. It has to be Welsh Maldonado, doesn't it? Surely, especially in conditions like this. And on board once again with Menace like Chappers, who's now got Nosey for company. And the Williams team are very good, though, in terms of team tactics. And they are very good with working together. However, they're going to have to work together to keep Van Von and Boxtel at bay. Then both drivers that absolutely flying in their home Grand Prix tonight, doing a good job then. On board with Nosey at the moment there, as I'm wondering though if Chappers might have to let Nosey through here. Keza is going to be feeling a bit vulnerable now, because here comes Menace all over the gearbox of the Red Bull then. Down the back straight then. So at the moment, and the rain is coming down. The rain is not heavy enough then, which is now Immortals dropped off at the back of Boxtel quite drastically now. I think he's burned his intermediate tyres, unfortunately. And no, sadly, I think that the dry tyres are the right choice then. On the inside then, and Menace is through before we even got to DRS there. And DRS is probably halfway around that final corner, and now Menace is through and up into second position. Sam Swift Ninja on course to win his 5th Grand Prix as Nosey is through, passes Chappers, and now into 4th, and knows that this be his best result in a long time for Alexander. What a joy, what a joy, and what a race so far for our Alex. Brilliant 17. Chappers in 5th. 6th position is Van Von. Percy's got 10-second penalty. I think that's a lot of frustration there for the former world champion, sadly. As now we got Riley and Hings. Though listen, it's May Ranoff and Hings on the hard tyres whilst May Ranoff is on the intermediate tyres. The intermediate tyres, I think, are not the best choice of tyre, are they? Unfortunately, Cam is passed, is out of the pits because Percy. That incident, I don't think that incident there out of Skyflock, I don't think it's anyone's fault. It's just when you're pushing so hard, then accidents happen, sadly. So I would have put that down to a racing incident. But that is just the feeling in my water. So on board with Keza, then of course Keza getting a podium last time out, didn't he? That was his 10th podium of his career for Keza. Brilliant indeed. Menace Max there is did have his 19th podium last week, but it's taken away from him. So today will be his 19th podium if he can survive in the last few laps or so. As Nosey is now going to be under the cosh of Chappers. He is now past Nosey and up into 4th position. Nosey down into 5th, running a bit wide there. Chappers has gone in deep as well. Kupas and Soup. What a drive from Kupas. Actually recovering nicely. And in 8th position. Days like these are the days for the likes of Nosey, Coop and Chappers to really score some major points. And they are doing so at the moment. And that is exactly what they need to do. Now Legends kind of get past as well. I feel that Legends that's such a shame for Legends, because he was on course for some good points as well. Got to be Nosey, says Firefoot driver of the day. Yeah, I agree that. I think it is definitely between Nosey and I don't know who. It has to be Nosey, doesn't it? But of course, let's see. We've got a couple more laps to go. Then I'm not. The rain is now. I think that we're now getting to intermediate tyre territory. But unfortunately, I think it's too little, too late for the intermediate runners there. Because look how slippery it's got now. This is going to be a very fraught last lap for these drivers, as the rain is now starting to be a major factor. Finally, the rain has come for the intermediate runners, but I think it's several laps too late then. Mortal is still on the intermediate tyres there, as Cam has got past Rendog, who's down into 60th position. Rendog's been on these intermediate tyres the longest, sadly, then. So I'm not the only one that gets things taken away, says Serious Russian. Chappers has lost out to Nosey again then. Final lap of this incredible Dutch Grand Prix, as May Ranoff has got past Jay Hings then, as we go down to turn 1, and Coop has got to survive one more lap to keep in front of Immortal, who I think Immortal's tyres are probably very much at the end of their rubber, aren't they? Here comes Sam Swift. Ninja Boxhouse pass. He is passed because it's that fuelish. I feel like fuelish is there for Van Von. That would have been heartbreaking for the Aston Martin driver, who was really battled food poisoning tonight to drive a superb race there in 7th position. This is a stronger drive for Van Von. Van Von has always had the pace, hasn't he? But annoyingly for Van Von, it just doesn't seem to come right. Same with Cam, to be honest. Cam, who was on course to score, I think, probably maybe 4th or 3rd tonight, and that's unfortunate there. As of course, remember last week as well that Sam Swift Ninja said So there's a Haas off the circuit. My heart stopped then because I thought that was the leader of. Sam Swift Ninja out of the final turn, and Sam Swift Ninja is going to take his 21st Grand Prix win of his career. Sam Swift Ninja wins the Dutch Grand Prix. What a win there for Sam Swift Ninja. And is now on course then. Can he win the championship in the next couple of races? Potentially. That's not what you want to hear, is it? You want to hear actual facts then, don't you? As across the line, Coupe finishes 8th in the end there. It's just repelling Immortal then to 9th position. And Sam Swift Ninja has now really very much said he's got almost a 100-point lead now, and is starting to become quite a one-sided championship. This one is now for Sam Swift Ninja, but he's driving superbly well this season. What a performance there! Absolutely lovely stuff indeed. Then. Don't forget, fuel's bad here, says Sears Mushroom. I wonder if the fuel was the thing that which slowed down Cam in that final few races there. Knowlesy driving the day then, and I'm going to be honest, I think Knowlesy should be driving the day as well. He's done superbly well tonight there. Absolutely great stuff indeed, and that is the result that Knowles needs. That's his best result in for a longer year. I think that's his best result since season 3 of ALR, season 2, maybe. I'm just guessing there. I'll have to look at my fact book then. Darcy, yes, chaps. P5, come on, decent. Chappers was more than decent today. He was absolutely superlative stuff indeed there for Chappers, and has actually equaled Chappers equaled his best result of his career with 5th position. And if he got 4th today, that would be his best result of his gold career. But sadly for Chappers, he's only 5th today. But it's great for the Williams team because that will move him off the bottom of the Constructors' Championship there. Remember, they were Constructors champions this time last season. But Sam Swift Ninja grinning from ear to ear with fastest lap and the Grand Prix win. A full shebang of points here. And I must say, it is very, very difficult for any of his rivals to really get back in this championship now. Menace in 2nd. Keza for the 2nd time in a row in 3rd. Knowlesy, great drive to 4th. Chappers, great drive to 5th. Boxstyle, great drive to 6th. Van Von Coupe, Immortal Legends completing the top 10. Riley, Muta, Mayran Offer, Jay Hings, Cam, Rendog, and Percy. Retirements was Nick Candish, Equals, and someone else. I can't remember who the other person was, to be honest. Shameful behaviour indeed. Let me hang on a minute. Let me just have a look to see who started today. And Chazza, unfortunately, retired from the race as well. Unfortunately, but yes, good stuff indeed there tonight for Chappers and for Knowles. And maybe if there's team of the day, I think Williams would have got that as well. Superb stuff indeed there from those drivers tonight, which was absolutely sublime stuff indeed. Oh, well, that was fantastic. Quick plug then as we're waiting for the drivers to get into the interview booth. Tomorrow night, Illis Silver, isn't there? Of course, Nameless leads the championship by 17 points. Then from Kean in 2nd. Delando is in 3rd position on 21 points, and Jay Hings. It is Flippy now in 4th position, 31 points back, and Jay Hings is 5th on 39 points back at the moment. So I would say. That at this moment, and it is the top 5 fighting for the championship in silver. So it's looking very interesting indeed. That of course is. I've got some customers in the box. And quickly let me sort myself out, shall we? There we are. Good stuff. As driver of the day, Percy, driver of the day, Chappers. We've gone with Knowlesy for driver of the day today. Lovely for the Williams team today. Knowlesy deserves it, Chappers saying. And Williams, well done, chaps as well from Darcy. And in the comms box, we do have some interviewees, and let's go with the man who's won the Grand Prix today, and that is Sam Swift Ninja. And Sam, I must say, that was a very challenging Grand Prix. Very difficult, those weather conditions at the end then. How difficult was it to determine whether it was intermediate or dry tyres?
It was wasn't that easy. It wasn't really difficult. You could tell that it wasn't intermediates because the track looked really dry and the rain was quite fine. You can tell a lot if it was intermediates because the track would get a bit of a shine to it, but there wasn't any shine to it. It was just dull from the overcast, so it was still tricky, but it wasn't as bad as what people think it was.
When that safety car came out, did your heart sink a bit then? Because we know that sometimes safety car does bring a bit of annoyance to the driver's head. Did your heart sink a bit, and was you concerned about Lucas Percy's pace then, when he came in the pits then?
Yeah. As soon as the safety car, that first safety car came out, anyway, I thought the race was over. Um, I mean, I didn't have any pace whatsoever. To be honest, on the softs, my tyre wear was awful on the softs. First time on any F1 game or any track where I actually struggled with tyre wear quite a lot. I think because even AC was quicker than me on the same compound of tyre at the soft and the start. So I just don't know. I don't know what was wrong with the setup. I just a really rubbish setup on or something. But yeah, that was the first time since like going on to F1 2017 that I struggled with tyre wear. So I'm extremely lucky, to be honest. There was the safety cars to help me out.
And when Percy went on to the hard tyres, did you think that at that moment that this is actually your Grand Prix to win, or was there still so much work to do from that point?
Well, I was surprised he went on to the hard compound tyres for sure, because I mean, fresh soft tyre or fresh. He started on fresh soft tyre in half wet, half dry conditions would have been rapid. So I was extremely surprised he was on hards. That's for sure.
And in the end, then, of course, there was a great fight between yourself and Keza for the final stages of the Grand Prix. With yourself on the medium tyres, was you confident that the medium tyres was going to get to the end, and was you also concerned that maybe the soft tyres was going to be a major factor between your battles for the win and the loss today between yourself and Keza?
Um, yeah, I was a bit worried because obviously the softs on half wet, half dry circuit are normally just rapid as hell. Like there's a significant advantage, but I think the soft tires. I mean, even in the first stint where when I had the soft tire wear was just ridiculous around here. So I just got extremely lucky that the soft tire wear is just really that bad, so that the drop off was massive, so I could get a more of a comfortable win, shall we say.
And of course, when you came in the pits early on, then of course, when you was on the soft tyres and you had to come through the traffic, you was coming through the traffic like a hot knife through butter. Some pretty impressive racing there. Talk us about that and talk us and tell us, was you trying to take it cautious, or it didn't look like it to me because it looked like you was absolutely coming through the traffic like this was a championship on the line today. It was incredible.
Um, yeah, there was no way I could be cautious because obviously with the undercut, obviously the undercut is quite powerful in this game, so I needed to try and make a big of a gap as possible to the rest of the rivals at the front. So I just had to go for it at the start, and also, I mean, I just had to take advantage of the fresh medium tyres, which was probably the race tyre around here. So I just had to go for it.
And next week we go to the Temple of Speed in Monza. Different kettle of fish then, very similar to Belgium potentially then. How are you feeling for Monza next week?
Um, if it's a dry race, it'll be just a DRS fest. It'll be just swapping and changing at the front until the final lap. It'll probably be DRS games and chicken maybe on the final lap. If it's a wet race, I mean, it was a wet race last season, and I mean, we saw different strategies with. I think it was Indigo maybe or someone that did a one stop really early on and nearly won the race, and then obviously I did a two stop and managed to get it across the line first on the final corner. So if it's a wet race, it could be quite entertaining, but dry race, it'll be just whoever's second place going on to the final lap. I'll probably win.
And of course, I'm not gonna. I don't ask about the championship, but it is looking quite strong now. Um, with a couple more races to go, then you're almost there. Can you dare dream now?
I'll only talk about the title when I've probably won it, whatever race that could happen. But because anything could happen, I could just go on a massive DNF or a DNF streak of just not scoring points. So I mean, anything can happen, but it's comfortable, a lot comfortable, shall we say, than last season. So there's a bit of confidence there.
And so there should be. It's been formidable today. Well done today, Sam Swift Ninja. Your fifth Grand Prix win of the season. Fantastic stuff indeed. Menace, on the podium today. Hopefully you don't get it stolen off you again, those damn admins. But today it was quite a difficult race by the looks of it in terms of reading it. I must admit, I had no idea what was going on. In the first opening stages when you was having a good old battle, you had 3 or 4 or 5 cars battling around you. How difficult is it to read the strategy?
Um, yeah, there's obviously cars around you in that opening phase, especially starting on the mediums. I was quicker than the guys on softs towards the point where it was looking like it could rain, because the softs just died. So I had to sort of make a decision, and it just kept eking out. Like Jeff was saying, or Mark, sorry for that. Was saying like 15 minutes, and then imminent, and then it was like another 10 minutes after that. And the sky looked exactly the same, and the track looked similar. So I just went for it, and everyone was on dead tires waiting for the rain. Pitted. I knew I was going to be quite a lot quicker, get the undercut on them all, and it was, and then it did start raining. I thought it was going to rain towards the end, but maybe not that early. So it wasn't the most smart. But I thought about trying something, and if it stayed dry for a bit longer, then I would have had a big undercut, an undercut on them, and possibly could have done better. But yeah.
I was saying in comms, which is probably completely naive of me. I was saying that potentially you should have gone soft tires, or was that not a gamble worth taking? Because you went onto the hard tires towards the end of that race. Then, did you feel that the soft tires was not going to be able to stretch that far if it didn't rain?
Yeah, that middle bit, that was where I lost the position to Sam, and he was on the right strategy at the right time on those mediums. Um, there's not really much I could say. In hindsight, with the safety car, I probably should have definitely gone on the softs, but you can never bank on a safety car. You can sort of have an idea, but yeah, if there was no safety car, I would have been Sam would have been on mediums. He would have been able to go to the end, and I wouldn't have anyway. So it was. Yeah.
And then, of course, when that safety car did come out, a couple of drivers did go on intermediate tires. Was you tempted by the intermediate tires at all, or was you on the Sam Ninja camp where you thought that no, it's too dry?
I was, to be fair, I genuinely thought about bringing it in, but then I had a look up at the laps and it was like end of lap 31. I was like, yeah, it's not worth it. And we were still doing around 15, 16, 1 minute 15, 16s, which is it's not far off. It was close, but yeah, it was definitely dry enough.
And what did you make of the race as a whole? Because I must admit, I quite liked this curveball where it wasn't, where it was raining, but it wasn't raining, and it did make for some very interesting strategical elements in this race today. I enjoyed it. Do you enjoy these races, or do you, as a racer, prefer more straightforward kind of races?
I think it depends obviously where I started. I wasn't too confident in my pace, so I like a bit of a mixed up race. If I was on pole, like I have been times before, then just a nice dry race that sort of you don't have to worry about anything losing from pole, would be better. But just to mix it up, it was good. And actually, to be fair, half wet, half dry track in the wet conditions, I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely weaker than my dry conditions. But I was pretty pleased with my pace there towards the end. I was could get past Keza, keep with Keza, fake to move on Lucas, got past Lucas, but to be fair, he was on hards. He was, yeah, it was just unfortunate. And then I could keep pace with Sam towards the end. I was a bit faster on the last lap closing in, so I was pretty happy with my pace, to be honest.
And of course, we're going to Monza next week. Of course, South Swift Ninja thinks it's going to be a bit of a DRS trade. Then, what are you feeling about Monza next week? That, of course, is one of the classic tracks on the calendar.
Yeah, I think he's bang on really. If it's dry, DRS just it's so difficult to break the DRS on this game, and that's me and Sam have had conversations about that. That's if you just tone down the DRS on this game, racing would be a lot more enjoyable because you don't have to use up all your battery and try your absolute hardest to just try and break out of a second and then just have it all swallowed up on one straight with the DRS behind. So yes, but it should be a bit of a train.
Thank you very much. Great job today from
No,
Menace.
thank you.
Great job as well from Sam Swift. And brilliant stuff indeed. And of course, tomorrow night it is going to be Silver Dead. And once again, it's going to be in Zandvoort. Cannot wait for that race. It's going to be an absolute banger. And of course, Bronze is on Tuesday, also in Zandvoort, before we then head off to the Templar Speed in Monza next week. That is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to